Happy Solstice Eve, everyone! 2023. Wow, it is such powerful, potent energy right now. We've got the sun shining. I'm on the west coast in California. The sun's about to set, and the solstice is going to be at 7:37 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday, which is tomorrow for me. And there's just so much potent energy going on right now. I had to jump on here and just share a quick download with all of you. So the sun has gone into Gemini. That's huge shift. The sun, of course, represents the soul. And the solstice, right? We're going into the solstice. Why is that so important? Why is that so meaningful? So in Latin, solstice is two words, right? Soul and stice. And soul means soul, right? It means the soul. And stice means to stand still. And so when the sun reaches the solstice, it appears to stand still for a couple of days. And it's the highest point on its most northerly route. And then it's going to pause and it's going to go back down to its southerly route. And that's why we have, of course, winter in Southern America and summer happening here in the north. And this is such powerful energy, just to think about how right now at this time of the year we have the most powerful access to the sun of any time of the entire year. So, and in astrology, the sun represents soul, which is so beautiful because across the street from where I am, I'm currently down in a beach town near the ocean. Some people started playing music, and that's really appropriate given the other information I'm going to share with you. So the sun is in Gemini at its highest, brightest spark, and it goes into Gemini at the same time every year. And I know some of you who follow Western astrology, you're saying, well, it's going into Cancer, right? Well, I do 13 sign astrology, and 13 sign astrology is based on the actual location of the stars, where they are right now. Western astrology is based on where the stars were about 2,000 years ago and is no longer even accurate to the constellations. So, what do you mean, Lotus? So I have several videos where I go into depth about this. I'll just briefly say that Western astrology is based on where the stars were 2,000 years ago. 13 sign astrology is based on the current constellations in the sky, the present moment. Western astrologers didn't know about precession, which is that the constellations are moving slightly backward at the rate of 1 or 2 degrees every 72 years. That's not too much of a difference, but after thousands of years, about 2,000 years in fact, there's now a 24-degree gap between what Western astrology says, they say it's Cancer today, and what the actual constellations in the sky will tell us that the sun is actually in Gemini. So if you want to prove me right, you can get Stellarium or Starwalk 2 or any number of apps on your phone that will share and tell us what constellation the planets are actually in. I really recommend you get that because it's such amazing information to go on your phone and be able to see the sun is in this sign or the moon is in this sign, and it's a really great way to plot your day-to-day activities and see what's happening astrologically. For instance, I had been having kind of a wonky day, to put it mildly, and I was just irritable and grumpy, and I was like, what is going on? And 9 times out of 10 when I check the astrology chart, it will tell me, and lo and behold, it did. And one of the aspects we're dealing with today is that the moon, which represents emotion, it represents feeling, it kind of represents like the mood, like the collective mood of society, is in a polarity or oppositional relationship with Pluto. And Pluto is the planet of depth, transformation, intensity. Pluto's the god of the underworld. Pluto's our subconscious. Pluto is this energy that goes really deep, it's really intense, it's volcanic in nature. It's powerful, it's potent. I often compare Pluto to a volcano opposing the moon, which is emotion, and that's really intense energy. So if you've been feeling a little bit intense today, that's okay. Just know that everything is being brought up by the light of the sun, right? As soon as we have this really potent solar light energy shining, it's shining on everything, right? And so a good analogy I like to use is that of a cup. right? Let's imagine that all of us have a certain level of emotional stuff, right? Debris, let's say, pain, trauma. And let's imagine that all that trauma is like tea leaves, right? Well, here comes the solstice with all that bright, vibrant light, just lighting everything up to the most extreme level of brightness. So all that light is like water being poured into a cup, and all those tea leaves rise up to the surface. And then all of a sudden, everything that we're feeling and experiencing is there. It's present. It can be seen. It can be experienced. It can be felt. And it's a little bit discombobulating and it's a little bit intense. So if you're feeling that, you join the club. This is solstice energy. Has the power to heal. And part of the process of healing, of course, is to bring up that deep stuff. So if you're going through a relatively deep process and you'd like some facilitation, reach out. I also do healing. I'm doing a really great special of $1 a minute sessions right now if you want astrology reading or if you want to do energy healing. So please reach out. I'm happy to work with you and assist you. I know these are very intense, very transformational times, but they're also exciting because with the sun going into Gemini, Gemini is the sign of communication. It's the sign of expression. It's all about anything that is written or spoken or communicated or shared across time and space that comes from the mind. So the sun has gone from a Taurian earth sign, very grounded, very stable, kind of more physical centered, into a more mental, cerebral, active, where Taurus was slow and steady. Gemini is active and it's constantly moving and thinking. There's so much thought activity that Gemini has. So if you suddenly find your mind whirling and you're getting excited about ideas and maybe you're reaching out and networking, that's Gemini. However, if you're feeling a little bit of that moon opposite Pluto energy, that's okay. That's going to shift in the next days and weeks. This is going to shift in a couple days. Of course, more things will approach, but it should get easier. Anyways, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is communication. And so there's a really great opportunity right now to move forwards, to take action, to have more ease with travel, to have more ease with communication. It's really an exciting time. And I had this really magical experience today of a butterfly coming right near where I was, like right literally on top of me, and just flying all around me. And it was this big, bright black and yellow butterfly. And it was so beautiful and it was so appropriate for Gemini because Gemini is like a butterfly. Gemini is social, it is curious, it is youthful, it is joyful. In fact, Gemini is associated with children and young people. So if you have a lot of Gemini in your chart, you maybe always seem youthful, you're interested in new information, you love to learn and grow and communicate. And it's ruled by the planet Mercury, which is also about communication and self-expression. And so it's a really great moment for me to announce that I'm actually launching a course and I'm going to be teaching a group of really incredible people how to read 13 sign astrology starting July 1st. So if that's something you'd like to jump on board with and learn how to read your own astrology chart, please reach out. Of course, there's limited slots, so the first people who reach out will get in, and it's coming soon. So if you'd like to join us, please do. But there's just so many people right now, right? So there's the neighbors. So Gemini represents, when I think of Gemini, it represents our daily interactions with lots of different people. So neighbors walking by, the people at the store, our friends, our family, it's social media, it's Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. Gemini is just constantly communicating. And the dogs, right? Dogs are always constantly communicating too. So I always think of Gemini as like a great day at the park where we're going around, we're meeting new people, we're talking, we're communicating, and there's this sense of lubrication of social interaction. And so with Gemini here, coming with the solstice, with the full, bright, vibrant solar light, it is a really great opportunity to get out there, to start networking, start interacting. Of course, we still have Saturn retrograde, which is a little bit like a damper in the sense of it affects air flights, not necessarily airfare, but air flights. It's in the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius is connected to air travel, airplanes. So just be conscientious when you fly, make extra plans, make sure your plans are really solid, make sure the airlines aren't doing anything funny. That's one thing to watch out for. Also, because Saturn is in Aquarius retrograde, Aquarius is all about technology, and so you might see a lot of stuff around AI and tech and all those sorts of things. There might be challenges when it comes to website development and all kinds of stuff like that. That will ease up in the next 4 months into November, when Saturn actually goes direct again. So the advice, of course, with Saturn retrograde is to take it slow and to shore up your structure around your businesses, shore up your structure around technology. Take it easy. You're getting the structure right. Saturn's all about getting it right, achieving mastery. You know, maybe it takes a little longer, right? Saturn is time. But once you get those things really connected and linked in and jived in, you're going to feel amazing. So that's one thing we're dealing with. Secondly, there's just so much to talk about, which is totally Gemini season, right? It's communication. So if you have any questions, you can leave them below. You can message me at blossomwithlotusnow@gmail.com. I'm going to have to make another video really soon because I barely covered any of what I need to share with you all. Just know there is a lot happening. A lot of planets are changing signs. The sun into Gemini is just the first level of what's going on. It's the solstice, bright sun, vibrant light. If you can, take some time off tomorrow. Go out into nature. Take off your shoes, connect to the earth, breathe in some fresh air, and let the sunlight come in. It might be hot, wear a hat, you know. I went and I laid on the grass tonight in the sun, early sunset, and it was so grounding to my nervous system, because Gemini, by its very nature, rules the nervous system. And so when we go into Gemini energy, the one challenging thing that might occur is that our nervous system may get a little overactivated, a little overstimulated. So we might need some assistance with like bedtimes and going to sleep at night and turning off our social media a little sooner, because we're just so active. We're just thinking and excited, and it's like a butterfly flying through the air, just so much energy. So anyways, if you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll be back on here tomorrow to do some more videos to share with you these incredible shifts. All right, I'll give a little teaser. So the North Node, the midpoint between the sun and the moon, which I call, it's one of the most magical things going in astrology, in my opinion, is the midpoint between the sun and the moon. It's also called the destiny point. And everyone has this point in our personal charts, and we have it collectively. And right now, the destiny point, which stays in one sign for like a year and a half, it's a long time, has changed signs today from Aries, which is all about aggression and action and gung-ho energy, and it has moved back into Pisces. And Pisces is a water sign. It's the ocean, it's music, it's creativity, it's spirituality, it's much more yin. So collectively, the energy has shifted from yang dominant into yin, the destiny point, what we're collectively working on learning as souls. So if you have a passion for music, for art, for expressing yourself spiritually through meditation or qigong, all those sort of internal yin activities are going to be really nourishing for you and into this next year. Retreats, meditation, all beautiful things to focus on and even to invest in if you're looking for a business or a career shift. Really beautiful energy. So I have so much more to share, but I'm gonna call it for tonight. I'm so excited for the solstice that's happening in the early hours of Wednesday, June 21st. Take tomorrow, celebrate it. It is solstice. It is the day of the soul. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's just about loving what is. And when we do that, we can sink into that support and love of the universe. We're gifted beyond measure. So I love you all. I'm so grateful for all of your presence, and I wish you all just an absolutely beautiful night. Happy solstice. May you align to your heart and your soul and allow your vibrant wishes that you set at the new moon to come into fruition. Aloha.